So it's a week until Austin Mcbroom hosts his next YouTube event, and after seeing this video, he might use the excuse that I'm only talking about him because there's something big happening. This is what they always say.
Be prepared for some just drama, some unwanted, weird vibe, weird energy coming towards the Ace family name in the next month or so. It happens like waves. It kind of comes and goes depending on how much we're doing. If we're out there and we're doing events, there's just more shit thrown at us. Don't click these drama channels, don't click these news outlets because they're just trying to get you to click.
So I do just want to make it perfectly clear before we get any further into the video, Austin, if you do happen to be watching this, I'm not making this video because of your boxing event that's happening in a week's time. I'm making this video because I think you're a bit of a dickhead. I'm glad that's clarified now. So recently within the last few months there's been a lot of criticism that's when the Ace family's way. Now one reason for this is because they decided to pretty much scam all their fans by saying that they were going to go to Coachella meets Disneyland and have live performances and have a wildlife park and all this shit, but when people paid the $500 it was for a ticket package, it was just a carnival. Then obviously more recently, Shyla, who is Landon Mcbroom's ex, actually came out and exposed their whole entire family basically. She said that Austin Mcbroom and his dad have threesomes together, which is like a rumour that's been going around for a few years now, but she clarified it and it's fucking grim. She also mentioned a YouTuber called Cole who made a video a few years ago exposing Austin Mcbroom, and she said when Cole uploaded that video, Austin Mcbroom tried hiring people to kill and R-word Cole. Then on top of that, Shyla also mentioned that Austin Mcbroom goes around trying to have sex with every girl in LA even though he's married to Catherine Mcbroom. Now this is something that was also a rumour for quite a while, but I don't even know if it is a rumour anymore. I feel like it is just confirmed at this point. I mean, loads of creators have been talking about this for years, and some creators who recently spoke about it was Majlak, Jeff Wittek and Bradlye Martin on Bradlye Martin's podcast.
I feel like when you're on that level you have so much more to lose. You're a public figure. You can't fuck around like that. I feel like you have to be so much more responsible.
Oh, you would think so, but man, there's this one YouTube creator, bro, that's just been doing it for years, bro. I cannot believe. Homie,
I know who it is.
Homie. I cannot believe it.
I know who it is.
Stop. Listen to me.
I want to say it.
No, you don't. Just keep it to yourself.
Cut it out. Say it to me.
Can you say it? Just beep it.
Austin Mcbroom.
Obviously.
Yeah, so what you just heard there was Majlak saying that there is a YouTuber who goes around and has been in the DMs for years and all this stuff, but he also said that we should bleep the name. Someone's getting fired, aren't they? Now, it's interesting because this clip we're watching right now isn't in the podcast anymore. It's been edited out of the podcast, so obviously Austin Mcbroom or Catherine Mcbroom or whoever else has complained to Bradlye Martin and made him delete it. So what we're watching right now, we shouldn't really be seeing.
So what is his wife just not give a fuck?
No, please don't. Please don't. I don't want to get into this shit.
I just said a wife. It could be
I have no idea what the circumstances are.
Alright.
Now, what's interesting with this conversation is that when Jeff says, oh, so does his wife just not care, Mike seems to be like really reluctant on what he should say. And I feel like if it was just an open relationship, it would be really easy to say they have an open relationship because, like, let's be honest, they can do what they want. But I don't know, it's just weird the way he said it. And whenever anyone else comes out and says that Austin Mcbroom has sex with a bunch of people in LA, no one ever just says, oh, Austin and Catherine have an open relationship. They always like jump around the situation a little bit.
I'm with a chick yesterday. Yesterday, homie. Just got to LA
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
I got a girl 2 weeks ago, same thing.
She goes, yo, so-and-so.
Sent the message and unsent it.
And unsent.
Yeah, oh, he said the same shit.
And sent it again, and unsent it. I go, homie, how is this real?
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised that Austin Mcbroom is the type of person to try and slide in someone's DMs and then unsend the message when they don't reply. His ego is very fragile, isn't it? And the fact that he resends it after they don't reply just makes me laugh because that is so Austin Mcbroom, isn't it? He can never think anything negative about himself. Whenever anyone criticizes him, he never thinks it's his fault. He just thinks people are going at him because they're jealous. So when he slides in someone's DMs and they don't reply, he's probably sat there like, oh, well, they obviously didn't see it, because if they did see it, they'd message back, I'm Austin fucking Mcbroom after all. But either way, we'll move on from that, because I'm pretty sure they do just have an open relationship and it isn't that deep and they can just do whatever they want. It's just funny because, you know, it's Austin Mcbroom out of all people. But one thing I did want to talk about is Austin Mcbroom's boxing event that is coming up. And I don't want to talk about it because I'm jealous, Austin, okay? I want to talk about it because it's flopping so hard. So obviously they had to change the date for the boxing event because Austin claimed that Gib was injured and he could no longer perform on the date that they originally set. Gib has since came out and said that that was bullshit, and in fact, Gib's friends here in the UK actually came out on a podcast and said that was complete bullshit too.
I'm saying it. I believe it. He
100%,
dodged him
100%. Bro,
He tried to make it look like Gibbo.
so gassed.
He tried to make Gibbo
So
look like he had a
gassed, bro.
fucking head injury.
Yep.
Not true.
He was so
You
happy.
seen the video that Gib
What, that
posted?
Gib was
That
out.
kid was out. So happy, bro. Because he would have got wrecked. He would have
Yeah.
got wrecked.
Guess who paid for the medicals? Me!
Yep.
£1,500! I paid that.
Jeez.
I'm paying for the medicals. But it's not Social Gloves. Social Gloves didn't pay for it.
Right.
This is their obligation to pay, but I paid it. So to then lie and say that I've got an injury, by the way, when they first said that, I said, maybe they got information that I don't know about.
Right.
Yeah, like maybe I am injured.
Yeah.
We do the test. We're all cleared. No problems. No, not an injury to be in sight. And Social Gloves have not come out and apologized for misdiagnosing me. Because not only is it adding stress to my family, my friends, and tarnishing my name, it could also ruin my career if it was true.
Actually.
If it was true, it would ruin my career.
Yeah.
So they made statements about me that were completely incorrect, and McBroom will pay for that.
Well, they do have a new date anyways, and it turns out that they've actually set this day for this fight to be the day after him and Catherine were supposed to get married.
For those who are part of the Ace family, you know that Catherine and I have been planning our wedding for September 9th, which is why I was really upset when the fight got postponed.
No one really knew like the real reason why we were so upset about it.
Yeah.
Which sounds a bit weird to me, because I'm like, why would you reschedule it for the day after your wedding? That makes zero sense. But when I heard this, I thought to myself, okay, maybe they just couldn't get any other date in the crypto arena, which is where they were supposed to have the fight, and that was the only date available. But it turns out the fight isn't even happening in the crypto arena anymore. It's actually happening in the Bank of California Stadium. Now, this stadium has a capacity of 22,000 people at a football game, when you're not allowed to sit on the field. Obviously, when a stadium has a boxing event, they have a lot more seats because you're allowed to sit a lot closer to the ring because it doesn't take up the whole pitch. So when I heard this, I was like, Austin Mcbroom's a fucking idiot. Like, why would he put this event in a stadium knowing fine well he can't sell many tickets? But this is where I saw this tweet from Keemstar that says, Gib versus McBroom / Social Gloves had problems selling tickets for the Staples Center. Now they rented an even bigger stadium but are only selling 20% of the available seats. Is this a joke? And what you can see on screen right now is Ticketmaster, where they sell the tickets for this fight, and as you can see, the blue is where there's available seating. And as you can also see, the ring is so off-center of the pitch. They've literally dragged it to one corner of the stadium so they can make it look more packed than it is. So I guess that's kind of smart because they obviously wouldn't be able to sell anywhere near a full capacity stadium, but it's also like, why didn't you just put it in some much smaller arena? Like, surely that would have made a lot more sense. But even if you bear in mind the fact that they're not trying to sell out the whole capacity of the stadium, they're not going to sell out. In fact, in Austin Mcbroom's video recently, you can hear his dad saying there's about 8,000 tickets available.
We're going to start out with 8,000 to 10,000 seats, and then we'll go from there.
Now, let's be honest here, they're not going to sell 8,000 to 10,000 tickets because simply, Austin Mcbroom doesn't have a pull like that anymore. We saw the disaster that the Ace Fest was. No one cares about Austin Mcbroom, okay? That's just the truth at this point. If they did it in the UK, they definitely would sell 8,000 to 10,000 tickets because Gib is really liked here in the UK. People would buy tickets to go and watch Gib fight. But in America, Austin Mcbroom just isn't that big anymore. Like, numbers wise, yeah, I guess, but no one actually cares about him. Now, what's even more worrying, in this exact same video, his dad goes on to say that if they do sell this 8,000 to 10,000 tickets, they're just gonna keep putting the ring back.
The great thing is the more tickets that you sell, all they do is they push the ring back, make the ramp that the fighters walk down, just make it longer. They just make it longer, and you can keep selling.
Now, luckily, they're not going to have that problem because they're not going to sell that many tickets. But imagine if they did. Like, imagine if you bought tickets to sit in stand 110 here. You've got a good view of the ring. You're pretty much next to it. But because they sold more tickets, they dragged the ring to the middle of the stadium, and all of a sudden, you can't see a fucking thing. Like, they're actually willing to scam people here, aren't they? It just so happens that they don't have enough pull to scam people. But if they could, they would. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm so confident that they're not going to sell 8,000 to 10,000 tickets, because these are the ticket sales on screen right now. The blue seats are available seats. The grey seats have been taken, and that could be by media, by the way, or friends and family. That might even be ticket sales. Like, if I had to guess, I'd say a good 90 to 95% of the seats are still available, and the fight's literally in a week's time. Now, when people started taking the piss out of Austin Mcbroom and were making jokes over the fact that he's had to drag the ring to the corner of the stadium to try and make it look like it's bigger busy, he actually responded to this criticism, to KSI specifically. And if you knew anything about Bank of California Stadium, you would know that's how they set up their boxing events for everyone, even for the GOAT Canelo. Which is funny because as Austin Mcbroom is saying that if you knew anything about the Bank of California Stadium, this is how they do it for everyone, he then proves that he also has no fucking clue. Because Canelo Alvarez, who is arguably the pound for pound greatest fighter in the world, isn't fighting at the corner of a stadium. In fact, that screenshot that he showed to try and prove that Canelo was fighting at the corner of the stadium was for an open workout before his fight against Triple G, meaning this was just a media presentation a few days before the fight. The actual fight didn't even happen in the Bank of California Stadium, it happened in the T-Mobile Arena, and believe it or not, it was completely sold out because it's Canelo Alvarez. And I don't even think Austin Mcbroom was trying to lie to people with that screenshot, I just think he's a bit dumb, and he didn't actually know what that screenshot was from. And to be fair, he was probably using the screenshot to kind of like fill his ego up a little bit more. He's like, whoa, I'm doing what Canelo did? I'm on his level? But no, he's not on Canelo's level. People still don't give a shit about Austin. And to be fair, he has himself to blame for that because he just hasn't promoted this event hardly at all. I mean, the one bit of promotion I've actually seen from this event was this interview that was posted a few days ago on TMZ Sport, where it's him and Gabe talking face to face. But it's weird because that face to face was only 6 minutes long and it felt like it ended pretty abruptly and it was kind of only getting started. But we actually got some clarification on this because Gibb then went to Twitter and said that Austin Mcbroom tried to get 10 minutes of the interview cut, which is definitely a thing Austin Mcbroom would do. Like, he wants to control the edit to try and make himself look good. But it turns out after Gibb actually tweeted this out, they then uploaded some more footage from the interview a few days later. Now, I'm not going to sit here and react to the full face-to-face because I don't think anyone wants to sit and watch me analyse people's fighting talk, but one point I will make is towards the end of this interview, Austin Mcbroom is asked about the ticket sales, and his answer isn't very confident.
With ticket sales, has it felt like fans are into it? Has sales been...
Sorry, before we even get to Austin's answer, look at Gibb's face as he gets asked that question. See, Gibb doesn't give a fuck because he's not the owner of the event like Austin. He's just going there to punch Austin a few times and get paid, and luckily he will get paid in advance because he did in the last fight, he was smart about it. But Gibb has made it very clear that he has took this fight to try and end the whole social gloves, like, promotion, if you want to call it that, because if Austin loses to Gibb, no one's gonna watch Austin fight, like even less people than now. But yeah, either way, let's actually hear Austin's answer here.
Yeah, they're going well. I feel like the first time around, there's been some hiccups because, you know, due to his medical issues that he had.
Yeah, he's definitely going to use that as an excuse after the fight when no one turns up, by the way. He's going to use the excuse that Gibb dropped out or whatnot, which isn't a good enough excuse, I'm sorry. Like, even the ticket sales for the previous venue were awful. This made no difference.
Obviously, no one wants, you know, a fight to be postponed. Right. But we're back here again, and everybody, let's get it going.
Yeah.
Let's get it going, guys. Should we get it going? Just no confidence at all. I think he knows fine well that it's going to be a bit of an embarrassment and people are going to have a lot to say about the event after again. Only for his own fault, by the way. Like, why are you booking out a stadium like this? But either way, let me know your thoughts on everything I spoke about in today's video. Let me know who you think is going to win the fight. Obviously, I hope Gibb's going to win the fight, but if I had to be completely honest, I think it's pretty 50-50. I think Austin is actually better at boxing than a lot of people give him credit for, even though I don't like him. But yeah, obviously, I hope Gibb wins, and let me know who you want to win, all that stuff. And yeah, if you did like the video, please leave a like on it, subscribe if you are new, and I guess until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.